everybody, welcome to the Hacienda. Rivet here. Today we're going to make something delicious and simple, spaghetti with meatballs. Yep, and I'm going to show you how to make a delicious homemade spaghetti sauce and meatballs that'll rival anything you can possibly get anywhere. We got fresh parsley, basil, and oregano there. We're going to be utilizing both cheater's garlic and real garlic. Yep. And we need two kinds of cheeses. We got some pecorino-romano and some Parmesan. I went the cheating route and I already got the pre-grated, and it's okay, and I'm going to show you why, because we're going to use this in the sauce. And so here we got the other ingredients. Going to use a good Chianti. That's going to be special in that sauce, and it's going to really jazz it up. So come on, let's get going. This is delicious. What we got here is a stock pot with some hot extra virgin olive oil, to which we're going to start browning the onions. Actually, not browning. We're just going to want to saute them until they're translucent. And at this point, we're going to add the garlic too. No cheater's garlic here. We got 5 cloves of real live garlic. Okay, so I'm going to turn this down to medium because it was at medium high. And join me in a bit. After about a minute or two, we're going to add a generous tablespoon of sea salt and continue stirring. Okay, once the garlic's starting to toast and turn slightly golden, we're going to add a 1/4 cup each chopped basil, stems and all, and fresh oregano, not the stems on the oregano. And we'll mix that together and then add the tomato sauce. And remember those hard rinds of grating cheese, Parmesan, pecorino, I'm always telling you to save? Well, watch this. We'll chunk some up because they're going in the sauce. Okay, what I had here is 2 28-ounce cans of San Marzano whole tomatoes. Now, utilizing a potato masher or your hands, just crunch them up till they are in a sauce. Now I used about a 1/2 cup of water to rinse out the cans. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to add a 26-ounce bottle of passata. Now tomato passata is nothing more than sauce. Passata means to pass, and they've taken whole tomatoes and passed them through a sieve, and they make delicious tomato sauce. Okay, and we're going to continue stirring that in. It's still over medium heat. Remember all those little chunks of cheese that I told you to save? Well, they're going in the sauce because they're going to melt, and they are delightful. To that, we are also going to add 1/2 cup of that pre-grated Parmesan. This is going to add a delicious flavor to the sauce and a rich thickness that you're not going to get without it. Okay, continue stirring that in. Now we got the Chianti, the last and final addition. We're going to add 1/2 a bottle. Okay, and we're going to bring this to a boil. We're going to bring this to a boil and turn it down to simmer, and we want to simmer it for at least 1 hour. After an hour, it looks like this. It's nice and thick, so let's start making the meatballs. And to this, we are going to add a tablespoon sea salt and a tablespoon coarse ground black pepper. Now this may seem like a lot, but remember there's 2 pounds of meat here, veal and beef. And what we're going to do now is mix it in very well. Now typically you hear, oh, don't overhandle the burger, you know, it'll get tough. Well, that's true, but what we're doing here is we're mixing beef and veal, and we want to get them very, very well combined, and it's not going to get tough, and I'm going to explain to you why later. So we are going to just squeeze this very well and get all that salt and pepper incorporated properly, and then join me in a little bit. Okay, now for the seasoning for the ground meat. We have 1 cup of breadcrumbs, any kind you would like, we need to add 1 cup of ricotta. This is a 15-ounce container, so I would guess that would be a cup. To that we add 4 eggs, and the rule of thumb for my burgers, meatballs rather, is 2 eggs per pound of meat. That seems like a lot, but it works out well. Then we got some tomato paste. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons worth. That's about right. And this is where the cheater's garlic comes in. Since we don't want lumps of garlic in the meat, we're going to add the equivalent of about 2 tablespoons of garlic there. To that, we've got 1 cup of pecorino-romano that we finely grated, and to that we've got some fresh chopped parsley. We want about 1/3 cup. Okay, now with this device we are going to mix it up very well, so join me in a bit. Right, so we got all the seasonings nicely mixed into a paste, to which we are going to add to the meat, and then mix those two very well together as well, and start forming the meatballs. Okay, so here's my delicious little meatballs. Get a little close up there. Now, I mentioned that you don't have to worry about overhandling this meat, because those 2 cheeses that are in there, the fats are going to help keep the meat moist while we cook them. So let's go ahead and fry them. So in hot extra virgin olive oil, we want to brown these babies, and once they're nicely browned on both sides, we're going to start transferring them over here to the spaghetti sauce and put them in there. Now we're going to have to cook these in batches, and once we transfer the last meatball into the pot of sauce, starts our 1-hour countdown, because we only cook them in there for 1 hour, then we're ready to eat. And here we have our plate of delicious steaming goodness, spaghetti and meatballs, but we have to jazz it up. And you know me, I love parsley, so we're going to put some fresh parsley on that, like that. And then some more of this grated Parmesan. Gotta love it. You can never have too much Parmesan. Yeah, this is delicious stuff. Let's get a little bit more on there, just because. Okay, so let's give it a try. Alright, first thing, we're going to try the sauce, because that was very important. And it's nice and thick and rich. And that is so good. When you use San Marzano tomatoes from Italy, the authentic stuff with the DOC stamp on the back, there is no need to add sugar to your sauce. They are just delightful tomatoes. Everything's so well balanced. So let's go with meatball. I gotta show you this, and there's a piece of that delicious garlic. Let's cut this guy open, and I'm going to show you how tender that is. You see that? How soft and juicy. There is not any toughness in there because of the breadcrumbs and the cheese. So let's cut that in there. I'll bring this up so you can see it close. Can you see it? Yeah. Look at that. Oh. So let's try it. So tender. For the longest time, I always made my meatballs with just beef, because I didn't particularly like veal. Veal's okay, but putting veal in your meatball recipe is a game changer. It is so delicious. I can't stop eating these guys. This is so meaty and so tasty. And cooking your meatballs in the sauce, oh my gosh, obviously seasons the sauce, but it also goes into the meat. That's Italian. Okay, so the sauce is so rich and tomatoey, and let me tell you, adding the cheese in the sauce, that's the chef's secret right there. It has a rich flavor, and those little chunks of the rinds, no need to waste that. That's good cheese, and they melted all through the cheese, the sauce. Well, I take that back. Here's a little piece of rind here. Let's try it. Oh, cheesy goodness. Sure not to like. Thanks for watching, people. Y'all take care.